Hi, I'm Alec. This is Trev. Welcome to episode 10 of Beanscast. On Beanscast, we discuss coffee, politics, video games, and whatever else is destroying our brains this past week. We like to start every episode by talking about what we're drinking today. So, Trev, what are you drinking today?
Hey, Alec. I, today, on this day of days, am drinking a concoction that actually kind of came to me on a whim. I figured I would do a Coke and coffee, Coca-Cola,
Okay.
for just to be clear, with a little brown sugar. And then I was looking over at my bar, and I was like, okay, but if I put Kahlua in there, it'll probably also taste good. And I can confirm it's very delicious. What are you sipping on?
I have a nice lemon shandy. So I've got
Oh,
some beer,
mm-hmm.
some of the gay beer. The gay beer is still in my fridge because we got COVID right after we bought it, so it has
Mm.
not been drank.
How's Red feeling, by the way?
Good. He's napping right now
Love
because
to see it.
it's a day off, so that's what he does. Um, some good old La Croix, which is
How
not
dare
how they
you?
want it pronounced, but
Nope, it's LaCroix. They say it.
LaCroix.
It rhymes with
And
enjoy.
some,
That's what they say.
oh my God, really?
Yes, they say
Really?
it's LaCroix. It rhymes with enjoy. That's literally what the company says.
No,
It's
that's
like an
terrible.
8-bit do situation.
That's terrible. But yeah, that with lemon syrup in my lovely little cactuar glass. 'Cause
I love a
love
shandy.
is me.
I love a cider and grapefruit shandy in the summer.
Ooh,
Big
that
fan of
sounds
that.
delicious.
Yeah, it's very tasty. It's very tasty.
Wow, Alec doesn't have a bean beverage. I knew the moment you were here for the beverages, AJ, that I was going to get called out for not having a bean beverage. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
Confidence in you, you know. That's what
Some of
matters.
us some of us are really really touchy about the call outs from AJ,
Hmm.
and some of us are not.
I don't know who you're talking about.
I don't either.
Name names. Eric, you're talking about Eric, obviously.
I'm always talking about Eric. When am I
Always
not talking
talking
about
about
Eric?
Oh, that's
I'm
a fact.
forever
That's a fact.
afraid of the secret member of Beanscast. Someday you'll replace me with another white guy.
Oh, nah, too many of those.
You gotta upgrade if you're replacing me.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're not going
You gotta
backwards.
you gotta go from like the half step of a minority and go to like a full minority.
Yeah,
That's what we're talking about. Okay,
yeah, exactly.
cool, cool.
Um, well, actually, Alec, that's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about today is several things. But before we get to the brain rot, which obviously there's going to be plenty of examples of, Nintendo had some announcements this week, including the new Splatoon OLED.
Oh my
So,
God, I'm so happy about this.
yeah, I'll let the video play while we're talking without sound, because
Not
you know
because I care at all
about the
um,
OLED or the
about
design.
about it at all. Like it looks good. It looks good.
Uh,
Um, I've never played
it
Splatoon
does.
at all.
It does look good.
It looks
It
good.
looks
The dock looks
textured.
good.
I
The
like that.
the gradient on the JoyCon, really cool.
I like
And
that
I
they
kind of
did do
like that they
a dock design too. Yeah.
yeah, I like that they kept the white on the back, like because that's
Hmm.
like the signature of the OLED.
Hmm.
Um, but I just
But they added the
love
texture. I like
yeah,
that. Yeah.
I just love that everyone was so sure that we were getting a like
A
an
pro.
upgraded model.
That
And they're
was
just like, nah, we put
we
some
were
really cool paint on this.
we
Buy
were
it.
definitely gonna get the upgraded model though. I was assured. AJ actually promised me. He said so publicly on Twitter,
Did he?
and
Did he say so publicly?
I chose to obfuscate it
Did
internally
I
to him
did I miss
assuring
that
me it was
tweet?
coming out. I think he said something along the lines of something something private video something something Switch Pro, and I was like, so you're assuring me the Switch Pro is coming out?
Got it. Got
Yeah,
it.
clearly that's what else
Uh,
could that mean?
I mean,
Do you have any interest in buying this Switch though? Like you have an OLED already, so no. But like
I do. I already have an OLED.
if you just had the second edition with like the improved battery, right, which was the one between the OLED and the original, would this prompt you to upgrade?
No, but I have never played Splatoon.
Yeah, see, and that's exactly where I'm at. If this was a Zelda Switch or a cool Pokemon Switch, I
Oh,
would
you'd
be
already be
upgrading to an OLED. Yeah, I'd have
yeah.
bought it.
You'd be like, no, this is mine. I'm gonna get two. I'm
This
gonna
is
keep one,
exact.
one in a nice
Going with the
box.
Pokemon shelf. Yep.
Yep. And one of them I will use.
And what I will use. And then the kids can have my current Switch. See, it just makes sense. And then AJ can have the kids' old Switch to mod.
Is it a very early one? Is it one that you can actually jailbreak?
I think it's the first edition, and it sounds literally like a PlayStation 4.
I don't know how they did that.
They've dropped that thing and beat the hell, and because Switches are actually really fucking resilient, is what I've learned.
Yeah, well, it's a Nintendo console.
Yeah, and so like they have beat that thing to hell, and it works. It works, and it works, but the fan is so loud in it.
How many stories did they drop the GameCube from? They literally had like a drop test for the GameCube.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Like they had a drop test that was multiple, like not like 4 feet up in the air, like
actual stories. Yeah, that's hilarious. That's hilarious.
So, it's Nintendo. That's what they do.
But that's the thing. That's what I'm saying is like, and I know Splatoon does have a decent fan base. I mean, it's sold a good amount of games. So this is like a smart business move. But I am curious what goes into the decision making with what franchise gets a full Switch and what franchise doesn't.
Well,
because they put Pokemon on lights twice now.
It's bigger in Japan, right?
Splatoon.
Yeah,
sure.
But I think, for the Pokemon, right now, I would assume it's just still like
Violet and Scarlet. Yeah. This
has been a handheld property forever. And it didn't Sword and Shield come out the same time or similar time to the Lite existing?
I think so. So it does make sense. Like that does make sense. But I don't know. I don't understand. If in November when Scarlet and Violet come out, we don't get a Pokemon Edition OLED, people will just be like, "Oh, because there's got to be a new console coming or whatever." And it's like, I don't know what is the determining factor. Didn't they put Diablo 3? Didn't they do a special edition Diablo 3 console?
Yeah, but wasn't it
wasn't a good design.
I know someone who has it, and I think it was kind of lame.
I just don't know. I don't understand the decision making, because like, I as a Pokemon fan would buy another Switch if they put Pokemon on a full Switch. I can actually justify a full Switch easier than I can justify a Lite, because the duo functionality for me is just so worth.
I wanted the Sword and Shield Lite so bad, and then I was like, you're never going to use it.
You're just always going to use your full Switch.
You're either not going to ever use it, or you're going to stop using your Switch.
100%.
So, Splatoon 2, according to Wikipedia, is still the 12th best-selling
franchise
game for the Nintendo Switch. Granted, that means they probably stopped updating us on the numbers because they tend to do that once it falls out of the top 10. But that's huge. I mean, like it's
a big game. And actually, AJ points out, he says third party's a different situation. I bet third parties pay for that in one way or another. So maybe Diablo was just, hey, we'll pay Nintendo to make a special edition Switch.
And I looked it up.
I guess, not Diablo.
A picture of it. It's just one of those where the dock is different.
It's just the dock. It's not even the Switch.
It's just the dock. It's not.
Okay, so that's stupid.
Which is probably cheaper based on the fact that I think a lot of them that have been like, special editions from third parties are just dock designs.
That makes sense. It's much cheaper to manufacture, obviously. And Switches have been constantly out of stock, so it would actually probably be tough to justify a special edition. Like, you'd have to, you're robbing from Peter to pay Paul, right? Because you're cutting your own stock, which is very in demand, to make a special edition for a third-party company. So you'd have to probably price that pretty high for those companies.
Yeah, I think
Real House says Digimon Switch when.
They didn't even
Alex
put it in the US trailer. I still can't believe that didn't even make the sizzle reel on the US Direct.
That's hilarious. I didn't even notice that. Of course, yeah, I didn't even. Of course, you did, but yeah, I didn't even notice it didn't make the trailer.
It's in the partner direct, the Japanese version.
So it didn't make the European one either.
No,
that's hilarious. They know their markets, man.
I don't know if that was a Nintendo decision or if I wouldn't be surprised if that was a Bandai decision, because Bandai is terrible at marketing Digimon.
That's
just
hilarious.
Terrible.
That's hilarious.
Like they have people asking for remakes or even just re-releases of old games.
Three people is not enough to justify a remake. That's not a bad business decision.
It's even like re-releases of old games, like just porting things, which I know still requires work. Yeah, and they're like, we'll wait and see if there's interest. And it's like, you have people, you had so many people ask you about it that you've had to answer it. So
it's like it's come up in board meetings. They'll just run a Kickstarter real quick to prove concept, you know.
Whatever, it's fine. It's fine.
But
I have a Digimon game to play in 3 weeks. So.
Oh, also, I actually wanted to show the other thing. I forgot because it's not. This is important. And I feel like not enough people are talking about this. It's not just a Switch. It's also a new Pro controller. And this thing I'm less excited about than the
Pro controller.
OLED.
Doesn't look very exciting.
Yeah, the colors are like actually. Go ahead.
Is that the same as the Splatoon 2 one, just with different colors on the grips?
I don't know.
Let's pull up an image.
But again, since I don't like the game. I know AJ likes the game. AJ, you tell me, is this a good controller? Thrillhouse says controller is lame. First one was better. Got it. Ooh, but Ben says he needs a new Pro controller, so Ben might be jumping on the Splatoon bandwagon.
It looks like it is a little different.
Okay, I don't hate it. I'm not excited about it.
But
I have the.
But I do like
pink and green.
The colors. Oh, you know what? No. Now that you have it up big, it's the same.
It's the same.
I think
it's just the colors.
The colors are The colors are different, and they're a downgrade.
The color scheme. Yeah, it's not a good color scheme. I think part of what's cool about Splatoon is like how vibrant everything is. Yeah. In terms of the art style, and this is so muted. Like it just doesn't look
just don't know why you wouldn't just do the same like gradient thing that you did on the Joy-Con.
Right, that looks so good. That's funny.
Well,
now that you showed Joy-Con, those Joy-Con
gray is different.
Those Joy-Con are sick. And
the Joy-Con are really great.
The Joy-Con are sick.
It's a good-looking console. I already have recently bought a new Switch, and I don't play Splatoon, so it will not be for me.
I keep talking about Zelda, but like I keep talking about Pokemon. Me, a Zelda fan, I bought these, right? The Sword and Shield Joy-Con. Because this is all we have fucking gotten. I said sword. I'm mixing up Pokemon and Zelda just interchangeably. Skyward Sword. You know, there was a sword in there, so I feel pretty okay about that.
One is modeled after the shield, and one is after the sword.
And it was actually terrible. These ones are unopened because I opened the ones I bought and they immediately had drift. They literally instantly drifted. And I started talking to people online and everyone said, oh, if you send them into Nintendo, you might just get regular Joy-Con back. And I was like, what?
That sucks.
And apparently that's part of their like thing. Pair? Yeah, I got these through Amazon. Okay. And initially I couldn't return them. They were like out of stock. So they were like, we can't like replace it with an item. And then I waited like a week or two and they were back in stock and I was able to replace them. Yeah. But what's funny is when I went to drop them off, the guy was like, oh yeah, we're getting a lot of these back. Like a lot of people are complaining that they're broken. And I was like, that's
interesting.
Fucking terrible. Yeah. But like, give me a Zelda Switch. Maybe if Breath of the Wild 2 obviously comes out in line with a new console of some sort, we get a Zelda theme, Breath of the Wild theme type thing. But, you know, I see people saying shell swap. Why shell swap when you can put a fucking sick ass sticker on the back, baby? Look at that. Fuck yeah. It's a fucking sticker.
my my
Custom edition.
entire my original Switch, I shell swapped the Joy-Con and the Switch itself for Atomic Purple. So
That's a good choice.
that was awesome.
Was the shell swap tough?
Uh, for the Switch, no. The Joy-Con, the first time you do it, you're gonna hate your life. Uh, it's not
Hmm.
tough. They're just very small, and you
Hmm.
understand why they're as expensive as they are when you're
Yeah.
doing it.
And they're delicate too, right? I mean,
Yes and no. Like the ribbon cables that are there are number one, there aren't as many as some other things that I've cracked open,
okay.
and they're very easy to get to.
Hmm.
Um, Putting it back together, I think, is more difficult than taking it apart,
Hmm.
obviously,
Most things are,
because
yeah.
you have to. Uh,
Get it
but
just right.
but it's not bad. I've done it a few times now because before they were just taking Joy-Con back, I had a set drift and Red had a set drift. And then my Atomic Purple ones immediately started drifting after I shell swapped
Oh.
them to the
Did
point
you
where I
send
think
those
like
in?
no, I think like the pressure was keeping like something about like them not being cracked open was keeping them tight. And then
Hmm.
once I did it, they're like,
Done.
uh, but so I've switched out a lot of joysticks on Nintendo Switches, and
Hmm.
I'm pretty good at that now. So I guess if Nintendo stops taking them, I'll just side hustle it.
Well, I mean, you saw what they rolled out in Japan, right? We didn't have this on the docket, but you saw the insurance program they rolled out in Japan, right?
I did. I did not read about it because I saw Japan, and I was like, okay.
Well, I
Also,
mean,
I don't think I have insurance on any electronic I own.
and this is what people are mad about is like because the policy sounds like it offers like up to 6 Joy-Con replacements a year, and it's like they just fucking fix the problem. Like, what are we doing?
I
Um,
mean, it's one of those things that's like it's not that simple. They don't
mhm,
make this joystick.
right.
They buy a bunch of these. This is the one that they have designed
Hmm.
the controller to accommodate in their next controller. Should they not use this? Absolutely. But
At this point, yeah.
I don't know. I think I mean, the big thing is in the US, we can just mail them off and they come back and you you don't
Or
even
a,
get your old ones back.
or a new,
They
which sucks when they're special edition.
it does
See,
suck when
like
they're special
so,
edition,
So
but
Mimi
when they're
Memes in
just
chat
okay,
says, I jumped through serious hoops getting the Animal Crossing Joy-Cons from the Japan Nintendo store, paying with eShop cards and using a forwarding service. Right? Imagine those break and they
mhm.
send them in and they get non-fucking Animal Crossing Special Edition Joy-Con back.
Yeah,
That is insane.
it is. I think here's the thing. I think close to launch of a special edition Joy-Con, you're probably not going to get it back. But I think now you're more likely to. Like if you were to send in
I don't know. The Animal
Animal
Crossing is still
Crossing
out of
ones,
stock, isn't it? Like
uh,
pretty
I
consistently.
bought Red's Animal Crossing Switch like 9 months after it came out.
Wow. I know the
They
dock was
they come back in stock.
okay.
So like they haven't stopped making it. Um, and I think you can buy uh those Legend of Zelda Joy-Cons.
Yeah, I see them in my actual local GameStop
Yeah.
occasionally. And my
So I think
GameStop even had OLEDs in stock. I was shocked.
oh heck, I could buy
Okay, don't
some
flex. We get it.
refurbished.
You have money. Okay, we understand.
No.
Barbara finally got a hold of you? God
Excuse me.
damn.
Yeah. And I got her to put a bonus on there. Your next check might be a little small. Uh
Everyone is, by the way, in chat is saying the Animal Switch Crossing is definitely around.
yeah. So it comes back in stock. And
Did I
it
say Animal
probably is
Switch Crossing instead of
Animal
Animal
Switch
Crossing
Crossing. Yeah.
Switching? God
The,
damn,
the
dude.
Kahlua was a mistake. It's about to be some serious role reversal this week.
This is wild.
But yeah, I think you're more likely to get it back now. But I get what you mean because I'm assuming that they like verify that you sent them Joy-Con and then they send out replacements instead of obviously sending you back your Joy-Con. They just verify, yes, these are Joy-Con and send you replacements.
Joy-Con in, Joy-Con out, baby.
Yeah, mhm,
Yeah.
probably because the
But
turnaround is really quick.
but especially though if you're paying extra, because like I think the Skyward Sword ones did cost more than a standard set of Joy-Con when they first released. I think it was like $79.99, and I think regular
Isn't
Joy-Con are like
That's
sixty nine
regular
ninety
Joy-Con
nine.
price.
I thought they were $69.99.
No,
Maybe
I
I'm
think
used to
it's
seeing a sale
I think
price.
it's just that they're never at retail price.
Is that what it
Like
is?
it's one of those things that you should never buy
For
at
full
MSRP
price. Yeah,
because it rarely is.
got it.
Like
Got
the
it.
Pro controller. Yeah, MSRP is $80.
Pro
You
controller,
should never buy a Pro
$60.
controller
Yeah.
at full price
Yeah.
because I think I got mine for like 55.
Yeah.
Like, don't buy those things at full price.
Yeah. Pro controller I do like though. It's a good controller. But yeah, don't buy it at full price. It goes on sale frequently enough.
Hmm. That is very easy to shelf swap. That's a good like my first shell swap kind of
Maybe we jump on a call sometime and you walk me through a good shell swap kind of mod, because I would love to do a shell swap on my Pro controller if I can find
yeah,
a body I like.
because I got
Yeah, I love the
new
atomic
buttons,
purple look,
new
man.
buttons and sticks and everything on this guy.
See-through technology needs to make a comeback. I think we can
Oh
all
my
agree on
God.
that.
It is the thing I am most fond of from my childhood. What the heck?
Without a doubt.
That's fine.
Without a doubt. You know what's one of the things I'm most fond of from my childhood? Pokemon. Speaking of Pokemon,
Nah, Pokemon lame.
I've never played this Pokemon game, but Pokemon just announced that for the Nintendo 64. I'm gonna play this like without audio, just in the background here. They are bringing the Puzzle League, Pokemon Puzzle League, coming to the NSO expansion pass on 7/15. Did you ever play the
I've never played
Puzzle League?
this one. I played the Game Boy Color one. So what Challenge, I think is the Game Boy Color one. And I played a lot of that. It was like one of four games that I owned for a while as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually like a Game Boy Color game. Um, and I played a lot of Pokemon Puzzle Challenge.
So,
So
I mean, it is just kind of like a Bejeweled type game, right?
yeah,
'Cause
um,
I love Bejeweled and stuff, and this is just
yeah,
Pokemon themed.
it's
Oh, this is big for the trans community. Let's
what?
go.
What is big?
Look at this.
Oh,
They did this frequently. They did that frequently, I know. But it is just funny
uh,
how they did that with those two so often. You know,
yes.
where it's like, because now the whole argument with like we can't subject our kids to this. It's like
Well,
Pokemon. Yeah, people are terrible. But anyways, I'm excited for this legitimately. I play a lot
yeah.
of
Well,
Pokemon on my Switch. That's mostly what I use it for.
this was the most likely Pokemon game to appear on NSO.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. So, and that's like the next thing, right? The next topic was that, does this mean I can get my hopes up about being able to play all my old favorite Pokemon games on my Switch? And the
I
answer is
think
no.
I think there is still a chance for Stadium, like the
Sure.
Stadium series.
I think Stadium has a
Um,
good chance. That's fair.
but if it is a mainline,
Yeah,
not
Heart
gonna happen.
Gold, Soul Silver type things,
They'll take
Ultra
your money
Sun,
for it.
Ultra Moon. Um, that's the thing is like I think that there's still a chance. I think that there's still a chance that they re-release them on some other package bundle situation, but I think they're going to charge you extra for it. I don't think it's going to become readily available for free on the NSO.
No. I think
But if they said, "Hey, if you give us $60 for the first three and $60 for the next three,"
well there was that rumor that we were gonna get a I think it's like 2 years ago now that we were gonna get a collection that was fire red uh what was it? I think emerald and or like sapphire and then a Gen 4 game. And there was going to be like two versions. Oh no, it was the first three gens. It was
I
like
didn't hear about
fire
that.
red, and then Soul Silver, and like there'd be two versions of it, and immediately most of the community was like, "That's not ever gonna happen. They're gonna sell these things." I think the most we could hope for is what they did with 3DS, and we'll just get, here you go, buy these on the eShop. Have a blast.
I'm okay with that because it's one of those things for me where like as much as I hate like Disney hoarding their IP, Nintendo is an IP company, like that's what they do, and like enough people will pay for Nintendo if Nintendo re-released them. I think that like why wouldn't they? You know, why would they give it to you for free on an expansion
I think
pass?
there's, I mean, who's to say how different it is to just what they would have to do to those ports that they already did for the 3DS to get
Something
them
for
running on the
sure,
Switch.
right? Less than
Um,
nothing.
but it's definitely would pay for itself. So it's just whether they want to do it.
And that's the thing is, I think it definitely would. What kind of is surprising to me is that during like, and maybe it's because they're so busy with other projects, but during this time when most people would consider it a pretty down period, a downtime for Nintendo with like not a lot going on, seems like a good opportunity to relaunch one of the old games, you know, and like just give us a reboot on the Switch, kind of like what they did with Diamond and Pearl.
Not a lot going on.
Right now, what's coming? Well, I mean, you mean the directs that just came
I
out?
mean, June we had Strikers.
Strikers was really a big letdown, man.
I mean, yeah, but that on their schedule, they're like, this is a big thing.
Hmm.
They pushed Three Hopes in very, very hard.
Hmm.
Um, and then this month we've got,
I'm blinded by what I'm interested in. You're not wrong.
yeah, yeah, no, and I get that. Uh, and this month is RPG month
Yeah,
because
that's it's.
we've got Live Alive coming out in
Kevin Kenson
less than
almost
two
made me
weeks.
wanna download the
I
demo for that
can't
game.
believe that. Like the
So close.
even I mean, you I could see maybe getting there, but the fact that like Bob was like, should I play this? And I'm just like, no,
You'll hate
no,
this game.
you're gonna hate this game. Like, I guess the only point is that it's voice acted, so he at least doesn't have to read everything.
Hmm.
But no,
But no,
this is like
not for you.
the RPGest of RPGs.
That's so funny.
Uh, but and then we've also got Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which
Hmm.
and then the most important one, Digimon Survive.
Well, let's calm down. But it is a game legally that's coming out.
And then we got Splatoon, and then October there's what, Mario plus Rabbids.
Are we counting that as like a thing? Like, is that?
I mean, it's
I
first
mean,
party IP.
fucking
Like it's
Christ,
their
man, the bar
IP.
is low
It's
right
not made
now.
by them. That first game sold a ton.
Which is crazy. That's for, but also, okay, I know it sold a ton, but also I always saw it on sale for like $10.
Well, yeah, but that's because it's an Ubisoft game,
Yeah, but like, okay, that's why
and
it's
that's
that's
what
one
they
of the
do.
reasons it sold a ton.
Uh, where is it? Oh, maybe not a ton. The last report we have it as 2 million, but that's still like,
That's not a low number.
yeah. Um, so for like, especially
Right.
for a tactics RPG, like a strategy RPG selling 2 million units is that's the Mario gift right there.
I
Uh,
wonder though how many people bought that because it was $10 and a Mario game,
oh, probably. I've
and
purchased
then
it
they
twice.
played it, and then they're like, oh no.
So I have it physically is
Uh
how I
huh.
originally got it. And then one of the times where it was $10, I bought it digitally.
You bought it
So
just because
just so I don't have to grab the
get the
cartridge if I ever want to
cartridge.
play it.
$10 worth of convenience. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
absolutely.
it is a $10 convenience fee.
I do want to point out. So AJ said this, and I think he's got a really good point here regarding Pokemon and Nintendo Company. He says, I think it's less than the dollars to donuts worth of relaunching a game and more so of them being scared of devaluing the games through oversaturation, which is literally why Disney created the Disney Vault. Like, you're old enough to remember the it's going away. You remember when you just couldn't fucking buy The Little Mermaid?
Yeah.
That's insane. But artificial scarcity, it did a lot for the brand.
Yeah.
And so that's
guess
a good
what
point.
happened in my household with the Disney Vault is every time something came out of the vault, my mom bought it.
Bought it. Every time.
We had it already or not.
Disney's got to juice the numbers, baby. Stock
Speaking
prices
of
are
Little
dipping.
Mermaid, we had 3 VHS copies of Little Mermaid.
Amazing.
We had the OG Penis Castle copy.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Which, if you don't know what that is, Google Little Mermaid penis.
Don't Google Little Mermaid.
Actually, there's two things that'll
There's
come
two,
up with
yeah,
that.
because the priest too.
There's two, because the priest.
Yeah.
Also, maybe put safe search on.
Yeah, definitely put safe search on for that. But yeah, it's the limited edition FOMO. That's exactly what it is. And then Thrill House in chat, I literally bought it because it was $10 at Target. Ended up liking it, but probably would not have if I paid more than $30 for it. In regards to
I think the fact that it's an Ubisoft game and everyone knows that Ubisoft does that is to its disadvantage, because looking at the games that are coming out around that time, and as someone who thoroughly enjoys the genre and loved the first game, I'm going to skip it because there's a lot of other games to play right there, and I'm just going to wait until it hits its first big sale.
Yep. But see, 2 million copies at $10 is significantly different than 2 million copies at $60.
Well, yes.
I mean, monetarily, like, there's a big difference there.
Yes.
Roughly 6x.
But also, what do we think their expectations were for this?
Right. They probably didn't spend a lot of money.
The Wikipedia article I'm looking at, the source for that 2 million is an article from 2018.
So at least 2.2 million now, probably. No, 2.2 is crazy. 2.0002. Like, they sold 2 more copies in the last 4 years.
Yeah, I don't think so.
That's probably roughly accurate.
Well, yeah, that's because that came out. What? That came out first year? Was that a 2017 game?
I don't know when it came out. I just know I bought the kids a copy for $10 because it was a Switch game for $10.
So in a year, it cleared 2 million copies, which is big. Like, we don't tend to think of that as big. We have like Switch blindness with with sales on Switch games because the big games are so big. But 2 million's a lot of copies in a year.
Yeah. Oh, and Eric points out you can play it for free right now for another day or two.
Yes, you can.
I didn't know that. Is it just a like a short demo, or is it like actually?
No, it's one of those NSO previews where you can play the whole game for a week.
Is that the first time they've done that?
No, this is like the 6th game they've done that with.
What?
Yeah. Have you never paid attention to that? Yeah,
literally not once.
It's a thing that they do where they do a full preview, and if you have NSO, you can play. You have access to the game.
That's actually good. That's a good perk. They should.
I think it's a great perk. Whenever people are like, "Oh my gosh, Game Pass for Switch," I'm like, "Yeah, that would be cool." But we already get like, I think that's a really cool feature that helps them still too, because if you don't finish the game in a week,
you're gonna buy it. Exactly. That's crazy. I've never heard of that. I didn't know that. I didn't realize that the thing was an NSO thing.
That's totally a game that you could clear in a week.
Right. That's the thing.
It's not an insanely long game.
Right.
That's
cool. Yeah. Actually, that's a huge perk to me. I didn't know that. Because I would literally not pay money for this game, but I might go download this and try to beat it in the next day or two. You know, like if I can play it for free.
They've done ARMS. They did. I think they did Disgaea 5, which was like. I didn't even play that. Oh, and then Stardew Valley. They just did Stardew Valley too. How did you miss that?
I don't know, man. I don't pay attention.
Apparently.
Should be a monthly cycling thing. Absolutely. They should just give you access to one of the games in their library for like however long. Really, for a month, that's what they should do. That would be smart. Imagine if Odyssey just became available for everybody for a month. I bet they would have a resurgence in Odyssey sales real quick.
Hmm. I think it's good. They seem to be doing them in targeted ways. So like,
Mm-hmm. To kind of
uh,
push releases or something.
well, like yeah, they're like either like before a sequel, or I think the Arms one was that when Min Min got announced for
Oh, and
Smash that they
Smash,
did
that
the
would make
Arms one.
sense. That would make sense. Some synergy.
So stuff like that, like that. So it's just marketing, but it's marketing that we benefit from.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a perk to the NSO that other people don't think about a lot.
Yep.
So,
They
and it
gotta
still
advocate.
remains a stupid cheap online.
It is, especially with a family plan. It's crazy cheap if you've got a couple friends. You
Hmm.
don't even need 8. It would still be very cheap. But yeah, that's some good synergy. I love synergy. Speaking of synergy, I'm just gonna do this the whole show now. Let's talk about the Pokemon Company TCG perspective because I'm a big fan of the TCG. I love buying the cards, opening
Was
the
synergy
cards.
because of energy? Is that where you were going there?
No, because there's synergy here. Watch. So here this is
Okay.
the synergy. Okay, so the Pokemon Company printed 9 billion Pokemon cards last year, doubling production to stop speculators scoring 350 fold returns on rare cards. The synergy is because Pokemon bought the manufacturer.
Yeah,
That's brilliant.
they just said, "Fuck it, we own you now."
100%. They literally bought them because they wanted to increase printing. And the quality assurance has been fucking absolutely atrocious. Like, so Eric just said 9 billion cards and 8.9 billion were off center garbage. The quality control is terrible. So hopefully this allows them to increase those aspects as well. But this is great. There's been really, really, really tangible improvements in the market for this. Just like for instance here, TCG Player. I'm sure you're familiar with. Alec,
What? Yeah,
are you familiar with TCG Player?
the like online thing.
.com. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it's a great resource.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah,
like
I
just looking at this site, if you look at the Vivid Voltage ETB, which is a set that just got reprinted, okay, a year
okay.
ago, it was literally selling for $104. It is now selling for $35.
And you can get a Chonky Chew.
Yeah, well, because that's the best card in the set is the Chonky Chew.
He on the box.
Yeah, and if you look at that price over time, the 1 year trend, because honestly, fuck scalpers. So the 1 year trend of
Holy
that
shit!
card, yeah, $250 nearly. Now all the way
It's still
down,
a
147. Yeah, or
it's still a hundred
147.
and
Yeah,
fifty dollar
yeah,
card.
it is absolutely.
That's crazy.
It is. It's insane. But one of the reasons is because the pull rate on this card was so fucking rough. Like I've opened with the kids probably 4 booster boxes of Vivid Voltage, and we have not pulled this card.
Chonky
Just
Chew eludes you.
yeah, it does. But this is beautiful. This is a beautiful thing because like if you're like a kid who just wants the fucking Chonky Chew, like yo, this is an insane price. And the Vivid Voltage ETB, what it's selling for $100, brand new. They sell for about 40. I think they just upped the price to 50. The Pokemon Center that is. But that's insane. So like I'm so glad that they actually bought the printer and are making actual efforts to bring the prices down because this is insane. 250 fucking dollars. I mean, yeah, 140 is also insane, but compared to fucking 250 is significantly better.
I just think I mean, it's unfortunate, but like when there were the crazy shortages of them, Wisconsin is where that guy held someone up at gunpoint at a Target, like
For
pulled out a
Pokemon
gun
cards.
for Pokemon cards. Yeah, good old
That's why.
Wisconsin.
That's why they didn't. That's why Target stopped carrying cards in some stores. Is
Yeah,
because of that. Yeah.
because why? Why deal with it? Who knows
Uh,
what their markup even is on it. Like, why deal with your employees possibly being in a situation with a gun for some?
Right, it's not worth it. And weren't delivery drivers also being attacked? I think
That's crazy.
it is
It's
crazy. People are
crazy.
fucking insane. And so I think so. AJ put in chat, and I think this is 100% correct because there are some fans. There are some fans, but there are also a lot of scalpers that are really pissed about this. And he says the Pokemon company doesn't give a fuck about the cards being valuable beyond being enough for people to want to collect them at large. Exactly. They don't care if the Chunky Chew is selling for 150 versus 250. They don't give a shit because people are buying the ETBs like crazy.
Yeah, they just want to sell them from the get-go. Like, 100%. They just want you pre-ordering this shit. That's 100%. What they care about.
And like, I think Magic is on the exact opposite end of the spectrum. Magic the Gathering. I think they're big on artificial scarcity for value purposes, which is why they still have some of the most valuable, single cards. I don't know if you've ever played Magic or anything.
The only card game I have ever played is Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh's got some. Yu-Gi-Oh's big on the artificial scarcity too, right?
I don't know. I stopped playing in like 2002.
Got it.
I was never a big card game person.
Got it.
So.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure Magic the Gathering, also known as MTG, is pretty big on artificial scarcity.
Oh my god!
You know what else?
Oh my god!
You know what else MTG is big on? Being a big old piece of shit. So, Alec, let's get into the real stuff.
I should have known. You should
have known. I was dropping hints, baby.
that you were setting this up. That is both a masterclass and terrible.
Oh, I'm the worst person. I know. Oh. So
at least you know it.
I'm well aware. So we're getting into the real shit now. That was the video game segment of the podcast. Now
we're in a row. We actually had a video game segment.
Hey man, sometimes there's interesting shit. I mean, you always have shit that you're interested in. Hey, cheers.
That's true. We could talk about RPGs forever, and by we, right. I mean I could talk to you about RPGs forever.
Yep.
While your eyes glaze over.
Kingdom Hearts. But now we're gonna get into the brain rot portion of the show. So.
AKA U.S. government officials.
Yeah, Jesus fucking Christ. Indeed. Literally an elected official.
Literally.
Yeah. So we're gonna let her speak for herself, and then we're just gonna offer our opinions.
Now, here's what I have to say. I mean, 2 shootings on July 4th, one in a rich white neighborhood, and the other at a fireworks display. Almost sounds like it's designed to persuade Republicans to go along with more gun control. I mean, after all, remember, we didn't see that happen at all the Pride parades in the month of June, but as soon as we hit MAGA month, as soon as we hit the month that we're all celebrating, loving our country, we have shootings on July 4th. I mean, that would sound like a conspiracy theory, right? Of course. But what's the definition of a right-wing conspiracy theory? Well, by the way, it's the news that's just 6 months early.
This woman still believes Trump is actually coming back to unseat Joe Biden as president. That's, to be clear, that's what she means by the news 6 months early. But yeah, okay. MAGA month? What the fuck? There's so much to unpack here.
So a few notes before we get into like the real obvious stuff. I only watched this once before, so I watched it along while we were watching it. Number one, she cites, oh my gosh, I forgot the name of the town in Illinois that had the giant shooting at the parade as being a rich white neighborhood, leaving out the fact that it is a very Jewish
neighborhood. Yeah.
Like,
well, she was worried the space laser was going to get her.
Yeah, like insane, much higher than most places. It's something like 30%, right? I think it was. I don't know the percentage of the population. Yeah.
Yeah, I have seen it's a higher percentage than the national average by far. Yeah.
And then just MAGA month. Oh my god.
MAGA month. Well, because like, so really, what she is saying is that this was a psyop to try to create talking
kill
points
patriots.
to disarm patriots.
Yeah.
And then she's also suggesting, it sounds like to me, that she's suggesting that gay people should feel a little less comfortable during Pride Month.
Oh, that's the other thing. Multiple events that probably would have ended in shootings at pride parades were stopped.
Were literally stopped. We heard about these events. Remember that group full of dudes in the U-Haul? Like,
oh my
Jesus
god.
fucking Christ. She is just an unbelievable piece of work. But yeah,
Although
MAGA
she is
month,
right
like,
at
what
the
the
end.
fuck?
She is
About
right
what?
at the end about right-wing conspiracy theories just being the news 6 months early, because that is how right-wing news works, is it's just like, let's mainstream this crazy ass conspiracy theory. Not in the way she thinks that she's right, but she is correct there. Rare W for Magic the Gathering.
It's definitely not a W. You can't call it a W. Can't call it a W. Can't agree with that, not gonna lie.
That's fair. It was hard to even say.
Yeah.
I don't think if I hadn't had most of a beer, I would have been able to say it.
Yeah. I just like, it's so wild that this elected official continues to, I don't know, just like call for violence too against like groups of people. And she gets cheered on. She's she's a champion.
I know we know that these people are in power because people who vote for them share their ideas. And I just can't understand that.
Yeah.
I can't understand that she's fringe, but she's not, because a majority of people in her district voted for her. Well, people that voted in her district voted for her. So, like,
she's got overwhelming support.
I know. I
Right.
can't.
I know.
How? What is wrong with people?
America, dude.
Wrong with people.
I mean, part of it, right, is that it's always been this bad. It's just like more.
It's just easier to see.
Yeah, it's easier to see. Part of it is like we're older and probably more jaded to the realities of life. And part of it is like people are certainly more comfortable saying the quiet parts out loud. They've gotten very enabled. They feel very.
I just think they have bigger microphones. They're able, like, it is the...
Sure, and that's maybe part of it too. That's maybe part of it. The internet has given people a bigger microphone.
Yeah, it's the double-edged sword of the social internet.
Yeah.
It's the fact that we can see all of these things happening in real time, / we are forced to see all of these things happening in real time.
Right. Yeah.
And, like, we wouldn't have known that people in Sri Lanka were trying to basically overthrow and oust their president until like 4 months after it happened.
That man had to flee.
Yeah.
On a boat. Did you see the video of him? They were running onto the boat.
Yeah. I liked people swimming in his pool. That was good.
I liked the dude washing his ass in the shower. That was my favorite photo. Or maybe he was washing his balls and his ass was out. I don't remember. But it was like, this is a W. Let's go. But yeah, it's you know, the world's not getting better. It's getting worse. Let's put it that way.
It's hard, because the other problem is, because these crazy people have bigger microphones, the people who were quiet about their crazy, who like their crazy was just inside their head.
Right.
And they didn't say it out loud. Now feel okay to say it out loud.
Absolutely.
They're emboldened by this
very emboldened
insanity and this racism.
Right, because how many times do you hear people justify their racism with something along the lines, or bigotry, along the lines of, yeah, he said it, but we were all thinking it. It's like, no, we weren't.
Like, fuck you. No, I wasn't. I have a heart.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a rational human being. No, I was not.
I am capable of compassion.
Yeah. We have the next point we have up here is the Ducey interview. Not interview. It's Fox News' Peter Ducey
At a White House,
after the White House press secretary.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and let the video speak for itself. This is about so it's a little over 3 minutes. If we, want to interrupt, just let me know and I'll pause it.
Does the president think it's appropriate for abortion rights protesters to intimidate Supreme Court justices when they're out to eat, like Brett Kavanaugh, who had to sneak out of a steakhouse last night?
We have been pretty clear on this. The president has been very clear that we condemn any intimidation of judges in this specific question here. We have condemned that. We have signed. He has signed a piece of legislation making sure that they have the protection that they need.
But you never said don't go to their houses. So as long as they're peaceful, would you say don't go to a restaurant that a Supreme Court justice is at?
What I'm saying is we condemn any intimidation when it comes to judges. The president has talked about this, and we have put out statements in his name and many times.
If protesters know that a justice is out to eat at a restaurant, that they can go and protest as long as they are what you consider peaceful. That's okay.
Well, we have said that we want to see peaceful protests. That's what we have said. We want to see the protests be peaceful, but when it comes to intimidation, that is something that we have condemned.
So where's the line? If these protesters can go to a justice's house and they can go to a restaurant, where is it that you don't think it's appropriate for a group of protesters to go?
I just laid out, you asked me about intimidation. We condemn intimidation. We condemn any violence, and we've been very clear. It is a clear clear definition of what violence is or what intimidation is. Peaceful protest, people should be allowed to be able to do that.
In a restaurant?
If it's outside of a restaurant, if it's peaceful, for sure.
Really?
Peaceful protest. Your first question to me was intimidation.
So these justices, because protesters do not agree with an opinion that they signed on to, have no right to privacy, is what you're saying.
But Peter, this is people have the right to, this is what a democracy is.
People have the right to privacy?
Of course people have a right to privacy, but people also have a right to be able to protest peacefully.
Is that
peacefully?
safe?
It's the intimidation and the violence that we condemn.
Is that safe?
Peter,
isn't that creating a potential really bad situation when there are people, even if they're being peaceful at the time, they're angry. And that's why they would be there, right?
Peter, we have condemned any intimidation and violence. I said peaceful protest should be allowed. We do condemn intimidation, and we condemn any violence at any whatever time.
Yeah. Do we need? I don't know. They're going.
I don't think we just say like he already said the part that is hilarious, which is a reporter for a conservative organization,
right?
Clutching his pearls at the thought of the justices not having privacy. Like,
their privacy.
Do you not have the right to privacy? Like, dude, they just voted down an entire gender's right to privacy.
Literally. And are actually trying to continue to remove more privacy rights.
Yes.
Openly, they are saying that. Openly.
Yes.
It's insane. It's absolutely insane. And Eric in chat says, Pete Buttigieg had a good take on this. I think public officials should be free of violence and intimidation, but not free of criticism and protest. I don't even think I agree with that because some of these people, I'm not calling for violence, but some of these people only understand violence. Let's put it that way.
I think that anytime someone is asking for protesting to be at all messed with,
we're getting into dangerous territories. Love this tweet from Jennifer Wright, who's an author. Brett Kavanaugh can still eat at restaurants in other states. I don't know why he's so upset.
Like, here's the thing. This was a tame protest.
Well, and so that's the thing. I think it's important that people understand what actually happened here. Because if you don't, it might sound like protesters were in the restaurant fucking with Brett Kavanaugh while he was eating dinner. Okay? Just to be clear. What happened was Kavanaugh did not hear or see protesters and ate a full meal, but left before dessert. Morton's was outraged about the incident. A rep for the steakhouse sent Lippman this statement: Honorable Supreme Court Justice Kavanaugh, get fucked Morton's already. And all of our other patrons at the restaurant were unduly harassed by unruly protesters while eating dinner at our Morton's restaurant. Politics, regardless of your side or views, should not trample the freedom at play of the right to congregate and eat dinner. There is a time and place for everything. Disturbing the dinner of all of our customers was an act of selfishness and void of decency. Get fucked, Morton's, you piece of shit company.
Yeah.
I think owned by Tillman Fertitta, who's a billionaire. Don't get it twisted. Absolute more pieces of shit.
Like, let's look up their dessert menu. Let's see what he could have eaten.
Man. Well, so Alec actually brought this up earlier. Yeah,
The
Alec
chocolate
brought this
mousse.
up earlier. What? So tell the people, Alec. What do you think?
What?
There was a plot here. You think Morton's had a plan?
Oh yeah, they were gonna pie him in the face. They
So
have
we
a
think-
key lime pie on the menu.
Morton's was just, they're upset because they didn't get to pie him in the face. He had to leave before dessert. So that was the issue, really.
I don't know if this is the right Morton's that I'm looking at. I think it
Morton's
is.
Steakhouse. It's a chain.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like, my thing is that people are outside the restaurant protesting, which is they're well within their rights to do.
Mhm.
This man was not actually impacted in any tangible way. I don't care. I do not care. He's a piece of shit human being. He lied to every sitting member in the Senate when he said that he would not vote to remove Roe v. Wade, as, you know, it's settled, which we all knew was a fucking lie at the time. But like, he's a piece of shit human being. He doesn't deserve peace. He doesn't deserve comfort. He doesn't deserve dessert.
Oh, and you don't get to have privacy while striking down other people's privacy.
Right.
And it's like, here's the thing. This falls under, she did a great job deflecting, but it falls under my biggest problem. One of my biggest problems with Democrats right now is they're clinging to civility when the right wing is anything but
Right.
ever.
Right.
And she very easily could have said, have you ever gone to an abortion clinic?
Right.
Have you ever been outside of Planned Parenthood? Those are not civil protests most of the time. Those are people saying horrible things, threatening women. Like, those are horrid.
Right. There are people who have to volunteer to escort people from their car to the
Yeah.
clinic because of the harassment they face in the parking lot from their car to the clinic.
So
Democrats are playing like it's 1872 and they don't understand the rules. They're like, well, but the discourse. Fuck out of here, dude. Get fucked.
like, by the way, the more I look at Morton's dessert menu, he didn't lose anything.
He didn't miss out. No, except for
Yeah.
pie in the face, which would have been a W
They
for
probably
us.
buy most of this.
Speaking of W's for us, Alec, I'm on a fucking roll.
Oh my god. Look at you go.
This was great. This was a W because this is exactly what needs to. This is the kind of shit that needs to happen. This is a very small protest, right? But I think this is great. So a DFW woman was pulled over and ticketed for driving alone in the HOV lane, high occupancy vehicle, aka the carpool lane. She's 34 weeks pregnant and tells the cop her unborn child counts as a passenger since Roe v. Wade was overturned. The state can't have it both ways, she argues.
So I
Yeah.
don't think this was just a simple protest. So if you're not aware of how most high level court cases work, is that they're usually staged. Typically the conflict that happens that
Is a
then
staged conflict?
ends up becoming this challenge to a law
Awesome.
is usually staged.
Good. Then somebody's fucking smart.
One of the, oh my gosh, why can't I remember what it's called? The case that initially established separate but equal
Oh my god.
was staged. It was a white passing gentleman who was who was black that was used to get the case to happen. Like, it's these things are usually staged. This is a good staging. Like,
It's
she
great.
ain't wrong.
I think that they
She's
should
not
also.
wrong, but I do think that she wanted to get pulled over. I'm sure this
Good.
woman was driving around in the carpool lane for days.
That's great. I think that somebody should also bring a case about child support at conception. I think that there should be somebody taking somebody to court over, hey, if I don't have the right to abort this baby because it's a living life, then I need to be getting child support. I need to be getting government assistance and all the, assistance that I'm legally eligible for, since this is a two-person home now. Like, it's just somebody needs to take these things to court. That's what needs to happen.
The second tweet down from that tweet, when I look at it, is someone being like, why stop it at Carpool? Claim it as a dependent on filing your taxes. On
100%.
W4, claiming child tax credits.
100%.
But it's dumb law. This is good protest of the dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Because clearly, I mean, this woman's 34 weeks pregnant. She wants this baby. Like, that's very pregnant.
Mm-hmm. That's very pregnant.
But good job using your ability to do this, like, to shed light on this. Hopefully something comes of this, but we'll see.
I have to comment on this. AJ in chat says, crazy she was driving in the Jay-Z lane, and I am from now and evermore referring to it as the Hove lane. All right, so we're moving along here. I saw this the other day, and I had to put this in here because I couldn't believe this. I didn't think it was real, but it is. So for those who don't know, Buck Angel is a trans man and a professional athlete, and very if you look at him, very much looks like a man. Okay, so I don't know what the terminology, but
Passing.
Thank you. It doesn't come up often, right? If you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah.
So Buck tweeted the other day, July 5th, 2022. In pornography, there is a trans woman category and a woman category. No one has ever tried to put them together. They know they are different. Same with trans men. So what's the actual problem? Even if you do not like porn, this fact remains to make a point. This shit was insane. I couldn't believe this.
Remember when a few weeks ago when you were like, why would other people in the LGBT community be terrible to other people in the LGBT community?
Here you go.
This is why.
This is insane.
No community is a monolith. And
it's right. Absolutely.
Here's an example.
Mm-hmm. It's absolutely insane.
That's another great. Oh, I have a response to this on mine, which does not look like it's showing up for you. But someone that put, there's also categories for Black, Asian, Latina, etc. I need you to learn what an adjective is.
That's hilarious. I'm looking for the one because there was see, I like this response too. Somebody said, good point. If they put them in the same category, everyone would be angry. And then this person responded, yes, it's almost like transphobia is deeply ingrained in people or something. But somebody responded, I can't find the response now, but they said, according to Buck Williams, you can either be a woman or have feet. You can't be both.
No.
And that shit had me fucking rolling because that's the thing. Trying to define people by porn categories is the most insane level of fucking behavior I have maybe ever heard in my life. It's like, well, there is no Jewish category, so I don't actually even recognize you as a person. I'm gonna be honest. Like, what are we doing here?
No.
I just couldn't. It was. I had to bring it up because it's insane. But right, it's almost like people who are trans can also have ingrained transphobia. It's insane.
Yeah.
Speaking of things that are fucking beyond the pale and insane, Alec, I'm like 6 for 6. Let's go. We're talking about the Arizona governor debate because this shit is also fucking insane.
So this is a debate for the Republican primary for Arizona.
And so if anyone like Inda is here or anything, a primary is what happens before the general. So these are all Republicans.
This is what's going to choose the Republican who appears on the ballot for the general election.
Mm-hmm.
For Arizona, that basically means this is the general election.
Right.
Most likely, one of these people will be governor of Arizona.
Almost certainly one of these people will end up being governor of Arizona. And it's important to keep that in mind, because this is
as
real.
We watch the clip.
Okay.
They closed my business down. But you know what? I didn't listen. I kept it open. You didn't have to listen, people. You didn't have to listen.
I'd actually like to ask everybody on this stage if they would agree we had a corrupt, stolen election. Raise your hand. Never happened.
HB
Wait, let me
2289.
finish.
Hold on, let her finish, please, Scott.
Okay. God, they talk over me and I'm Italian. That shouldn't happen. You know
I'm
what?
Irish.
Okay. You know what? Why not get high-tech people that are going to be on the machines that are Republicans? A Democrat, Republican, get supervisors, equal amount.
That happens. We have parties looking over
That's
election
right.
results.
They're doing it now.
No,
They're actually
always
telling
done it.
people that 200,000 minimum ballots were trafficked by mules.
No.
An honest election.
May I finish? Mamma mia.
I feel like I'm on an SNL skit here. Are we going to take control of the debate?
We
Ted,
are
or do you want me
taking,
to do it?
no, Carrie, I don't want
I'm
you to try
happy to
take
do it.
I know you would be happy
Okay.
to do it.
Listen, I haven't been on a stage with this many women since I've been to a baby shower. It's been a while.
I don't know how that's going to go over, Scott, but we'll let that hang. Let's talk about,
What?
do you think Republican voters want a candidate who doesn't even believe in the vote?
I don't believe this primary has been fair. I can tell you that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have launched the lawsuit.
Our campaign is a movement. We're going to show up and vote in droves. They're going to have to cheat even harder in order to try to win this.
Your
So I think-
campaig's a psyop.
Paula, please.
First of all, put everything-
Paula,
I feel like
What?
this is a
Please.
spoof, honestly.
Go ahead. Finish what you were saying, please.
Oh,
Is this a spoof, Ted?
No, it's not. Finish
Are
what
you
you're saying.
sure?
Yes, I am.
Wow, okay.
I'm pro-life, from conception to death. And I believe...
No exceptions for rape or incest?
Well, that's a gray area. I don't know. That's a personal decision for a person.
Well, why can't we treat human life in the same way that we would treat alien life that we discovered on an alien
How
planet?
would you?
There's a reason we don't always invite Scott, because he's polling at 0%.
No, 1%.
And this is what
But
happens
the
when
polls
you...
lie.
Scott, please. And no, you can't respond to a closing statement.
The only kind of drag I've ever dressed in is a business suit or construction work clothes. I've never aspired to be Elvis Presley.
All right, that's it. That's it. That's it.
They closed.
There's so much to unpack here. This man fighting for his 1%, though. Scott, this is why we usually don't have Scott.
Doesn't believe in the polls.
He's polling at 0%. I'm polling at 1%. How dare?
You didn't have to listen to laws, according to Scott, either.
Yeah, that's true. You don't have to listen to laws. Well, he's a libertarian, actually. So he's like a Republican.
2,000 mail-in
libertarian.
ballots were tracked. I loved the poor moderator.
Well, and so like what they did
explaining like that to the old lady, like that's how elections work.
Yo, her saying "Mamma Mia." Yo, I'm Italian. Mamma Mia. Fucking
Mia.
insane. But also, you'll notice that this woman in the blue had no chance to speak. She was not shown speaking like even once, and she's also the only one who didn't raise her hand when they asked if they thought the election was stolen. I've seen other clips of this where every time she tries to speak, they're basically like, yeah, shut the fuck up. We don't care what you think, bitch. Like, that's literally their attitude towards her. It's insane. This is, one of these people is going to be the governor of Arizona. And that's a scary thought.
Terrifying.
That's
Just
scary.
terrifying.
I also like how many times they themselves are like, yeah, so this is like a joke, right? This can't be real. Mamma mia. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's just absolutely insane.
You know, I'm thinking we should move to Arizona. Sounds fun.
I think
Sounds
we
great.
should kick Arizona out of the country. Can we just do that? Is that an option?
What would we do? Would we just give them to Mexico?
I'm cool with that.
That wouldn't really work either. They're kind of stuck with us.
Canada?
Canada, here, oversee this. You have a new province. By the way,
Yeah.
there's a bunch of
They're
our
big on
territory
provinces.
in the way.
They're big on provinces. Give them to one of the French Canadian, the French love that shit.
Mm-hmm.
They're like,
Mexico ain't taking them.
New
Very
land.
true.
Yeah, Mexico's definitely not taking them.
Mexico wouldn't take anyone except maybe California.
It's so hot there, people have nothing else to do but be sweaty and dumb. Seems like it. This is what this debate would lead me to believe.
Heat kills brain cells, everybody.
That's a fact.
That's what that debate showed us.
Before we move on to the next topic, Alec, do you have anything you wanted to wrap up on this insanity?
Nope. I think it spoke pretty well for itself.
It's fucking insane. All right, well, before we transition to our last segment here, I have a small rant I'm going to go on. It's going to be quick, though, I promise. I just want to talk about small business owners. Because I know we have some small business owners in the chat here. My girlfriend is a small business owner. And I wanted to talk about an experience she had recently, which I couldn't believe. So she has an online shop, and one of her products was doing pretty good. Was getting a lot of impressions. And she noticed in mass, small businesses that compete with her, in terms of, they're in the same line of work, were reporting her item for bullying and harassment. And it is not it's not any sort of bullying or harassment type item. And these motherfuckers, rather than be oh,
competing.
let's all, or even just hey, it's not even a competition. It's you have your mark, because what my girlfriend does is make tumblers, right? So it's the competition isn't for a water bottle, it's the interest, right? It's what you're interested in, because you want something on your water bottle. So it's insane that because the thing that she put out that was getting popular in her crowd is not even something that was available somewhere else. It's not she's stealing customers from these people. It's just they're mad that they feel like they're losing out on a sale. And so she got literally 10 or 15 fucking small businesses reporting her on this post. It was fucking insane.
That's nuts.
I couldn't believe it. It's yo, do this to Jeff Bezos, man. Go take him out. Go report Amazon shit. What are you doing here? So that's my rant. I just couldn't believe it. I just I wish small business owners would, not do that to each other, because that's fucking insane. End rant. Speaking of more shit that's insane, I'm so good.
You're so good. That was kind of.
This is truly insane. This one's truly fucking insane. So this motherfucker, I don't know who this guy is. John Cardillo. I don't know who he is.
He says he's former NYPD.
Okay, well, he's a piece of shit. So this motherfucker tweeted out after, Shinzo Abe, former prime minister of Japan, was murdered. He was assassinated with a gun. Rest in hell. Die in a hole, baby. Oh wait, you did. Let's go. So he was murdered with a gun, which in Japan is not a thing that happens every day. That's an important distinction. So this motherfucker tweets out, in pretty much 100% gun-free Japan, an assassin used a homemade double-barrel firearm to kill former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe earlier today. That right there should be the end of the gun control debate. Okay. Now, so that's the end of the gun control debate, Alec.
Who manufactured this gun? Was it a Smith & Wesson?
Let's take a look.
Was it a Remington?
We got good photos. Let's see if we can find the maker on the barrel.
Yeah.
Zoom in. Enhance.
Mm-hmm.
Enhance. Enhance. I can't quite see the maker on there, Alec. I don't know. Fucking hard to tell. Scotch, maybe?
3M.
3M. Yeah, it's 3M. Fucking insane. If this is... It's so wild to me, right? Because if you're looking at the gun that this person had to literally make from scratch, and you're well, gun control laws don't work, you're out of your mind. You're fucking out of your mind.
He made a really, really good potato gun.
Right. Yes. And
which is
consider
not
the
a skill that we have.
And consider the fact, because this is, I think the barrels, I don't know what the barrels are made out of. They might be steel. They're almost certainly not bored, which
No.
means this thing is not accurate. Right? So he had to get very close to hit.
This is close and one shot.
2, it's double barrel. 1 trigger pull, but you know, going. But it's fucking insane. It's literally mostly electrical tape is what it looks like.
Yeah, it's here. I mean, this is the ability to use a gun level of guns that existed when that amendment was written. Like,
right, this is it. This is right to bear arms right here. You're looking at it.
1 chance, have to reload.
Yeah.
Reloading is not quick.
Right.
Like,
you got to carve your potato. Get it to fit the barrel. So AJ in chat says this is a Diddy Kong weapon. This looks like a peanut gun.
It does. I mean, it does. Here's the, like, I don't want to make light of the fact that, like, this was used to kill somebody, but
yeah, right.
This isn't going to be used to kill
multiple people,
50 people in the span of 10 minutes. Like,
right.
That's the disparity that we're seeing here. Like,
and again, an important distinction here, because this is lead pipe and not a barreled rifle or bored out rifle or whatever, rifling. You'd have to get so close to use this effectively. Any level of like actual security would have been very effective at preventing this from happening.
Yeah,
you wouldn't be able to get close enough to somebody. You couldn't sit on a roof and fire into a crowd.
He probably would have had just the same amount of success rate if he had brought a knife.
Right, exactly. It's the will. The will to do it is what mattered. And so this is great. I'm so glad Mimi's here to throw this into chat. Quoted from NYT. In Japan, 10 shootings that contributed to death, injury, or property damage were reported in 2021, according to statistics from the country's national police agency. So it is important to remember that do not include accidents or suicides. But of those gun-related episodes, 1 person was killed, 4 others were injured. So it's like 10 shootings, but gun control laws don't work.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's insane. It's fucking insane, dude. I just don't, and like you said, I think a knife would have been just as effective here. It's the will, the desire to actually take somebody's life that this person had. You know? Yeah.
And like, absolutely, this is terrible. It shouldn't have happened.
Right.
No matter the person.
I'm not gonna go that far. Alec and I, you know, our views don't equally reflect Beanscast the same. So,
that's true. You gotta pull up why he's such a terrible person.
Yeah, we'll get into it. Shinzo Abe is a piece of shit human being. If people were not clear about that, though, was a piece of shit human being. He's fucking dead now, which is great for the world. But just so we're clear, so I don't know what even is taught in terms of World War II and war crimes in Japan, because America is very focused on our role in World War II and how we were the heroes. Okay. So a big thing in Japan happening during World War II was comfort women. Comfort women were women that were literally forced into sex trade. I mean, it's state mandated rape is what it is. Okay.
Yeah.
These women, euphemistically labeled comfort women, were from countries which Japan occupied prior to and during World War II. Approximately 80% of the women were from Korea, which was a Japanese colony from 1910 to 1945. Okay. In 1927, Abe stated there was no evidence of the Japanese military forcibly recruiting comfort women. He also then went on to visit, and I couldn't refine the details of this, but he went on to visit some shrine to World War II like deaths, but also was enshrined to like known war criminals, people who were convicted of war crimes during World War II, and it pissed off like all of China. They're like, this is really terrible.
So denying the comfort women, which there is, like their existence, there is a lot of documentation about it. the Japanese occupation of Korea, like it's a huge thing. It happened. It's well documented. This is like Holocaust denier level of
Quite
insanity.
literally. Thank you, Mimi. Yasukuni Shrine. Right. I think Alec nailed it. It's that level. Because like here, we got the wiki article up. And I know Wikipedia at one point, not the best reference, but with these noted historical documented things, like it's not really in contention. Comfort women or comfort girls were women and girls forced into sexual slavery by the Imperial Japanese Army in occupied countries and territories before and during World War II. The term comfort woman is a translation of the Japanese yanfu, which literally means comforting, consoling woman. Estimates vary as to how many women were involved, but with most historians setting somewhere in the range of 50,000 to 200,000.
Okay. So I'm reading up on this somewhere. And I think this makes it worse, in my opinion. He didn't argue that the comfort women didn't exist. He's arguing that the Japanese army didn't recruit them. It was
mutual
parties that made this happen.
Oh, so he's not saying it wasn't rape. He was saying that
like they had pimps.
It was the pimp's fault. It was the pimp's fault. That's what it was. That makes sense. Usually is.
Yeah. Still not okay.
No.
Also, they did.
Yes, and here's the shrine. Yasukuni Shrine. I apologize, I'm probably saying this terribly, but Japan's ex-PM Abe visits controversial memorial. And like Mimi in chat said, every time a Japanese politician goes and visit in the Asian government, officially protest, ergo China, Korea, etc. Yeah, because like it's literally a shrine that includes war criminals. Like people are actually fucking war criminals. And there's a reason that people don't take so kindly to it. So, talked about comfort women, right? And how Abe just totally is like, yeah, but fuck that. We didn't actually play that role. This is why, when I say shit like, fuck the establishment, this is what I mean. Fucking good old HRC, Hillary Rodham Clinton, on Shinzo Abe's death, right? Prime Minister Abe was a champion of democracy and a firm believer that no economy, society, or country can achieve its full potential if women are left behind. Big women's champion. We know that. Obviously. All you have to do is Google Shinzo Abe comfort women to understand that he was big on women's rights. Oh, this is great. This is great. Abe, truly a comfort to women.
Oh my god.
It's
Hillary,
great.
Take away this woman's phone.
Fuck the establishment, man. Fuck the establishment. I hate all of these people.
Tell her to go live out the rest of her days in one of her many homes.
One she's got so many.
The internet.
Take her phone away. Take it away. It's unbelievable. It's like, what an L, man. Like, this trend of like somebody dies so we have to say nice things about them is like so insane to me. When Dick Cheney dies, I will not be celebrating. I mean I will be celebrating. I will not be mourning, I assure you. I will be fucking celebrating.
Yeah. Absolutely. Oh, Hillary.
You're in timeout, Hillary. No internet for you. Yeah, you tell her, Ben. Also, what's up, Ben?
Forever. Welcome in, Ben.
Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I didn't have anything.
Well, I just wanted to talk about this because, Abe would have hated it.
Wait, I do have one thing.
Go ahead. Tell me.
Fuck super delegates.
Okay. Yes. Go on.
That's just
the tweet.
That's why we had a Hillary candidacy in 2016 versus a Bernie candidacy in 2016.
Yeah, I don't think Bernie would have beat Trump, but that's a whole other argument.
I don't know.
I just think that you start throwing around words like socialist, and a lot of Americans are like, because that's what they're trained to do. And Bernie's not a socialist, but they're going to use words like socialist. You know what I'm saying?
No.
That's how they're going to pay. I mean, remember how quick they were like, he loves Cuba, man loves Cuba, says positive things about Cuba. That was immediate. Like literally, that literally happened.
Yeah, it did happen. Hilarious.
These 40-year-old clips of him talking positively about Cuba, which has like one of the highest life expectancy rates and one of the lowest infant mortality rates. Like, hey, he's saying positive things about him. Also, their education's really good. Unbelievable. So anyways.
They got a lot of really cool classic cars too, if that's your thing.
Well, not by choice, but yes, that's true. They do.
Not by choice.
Not by choice.
Not by choice at all.
But it's true, and the ingenuity is actually like amazing because the way that they get those cars to continue to run that are 60 and 70 years old without access to actual parts that are engineered and machined for those cars is unbelievable. Yep. It's unbelievable. Got those fucking Chevys running with toothpicks and rubber bands.
I mean, my brother had a Sunfire held together by duct tape that we called the shit fire.
That's a perfect name. I'd love a good nickname on an old car, man. I really do. My girlfriend really wants to go to Cuba. We were trying to go to Cuba when the embargo was was lifted temporarily, but didn't work out. Anyways, so Nabisuke Kishi, who is Abe's maternal grandfather, just want to talk about this very briefly. Let's talk about how he was known for his exploitive rule of the Japanese puppet state of Manchukuo in northeast China in the 1930s. Kishi was nicknamed the Monster of the Showa Era. Kishi later served in the wartime cabinet of Prime Minister Hideki Tojo as Minister of Commerce and Vice Minister of Munitions, and co-signed the declaration of war against the United States on December 7th, 1941. After World War II, he was imprisoned for 3 years as a suspected Class A war criminal. Interesting. However, this is important, Alec. The U.S. government decided not to charge or try or convict him, and eventually released him because they considered him to be the best man to lead a post-war Japan in a pro-American direction. Why would the USA do this, Alec? There's a joke just for Ben in chat. Why would they do this? Why would the USA do this? It's a very NBA-specific joke, but this is insane. This man is literally a fucking war criminal. And they're like, yeah, but we could overlook that because, favorable.
He's gonna be nice to us.
Even though he declared war on us.
Yeah, well, nice with a leash.
This is the shit that drives me insane.
You gotta keep that shock collar on him.
Right. People don't go from being war criminals to not being war criminals because they are on board to help you overthrow their own country. That's not how that works. So that Prime Minister Hideki is one of the Class A war criminals enshrined where Abe is going, and where Abe goes and pisses people off when he goes there. It's insane. So overall, this is a W for the world. People who are literally war criminals. I'm okay with them being unalived in GTA.
Yep. Every time.
Every time. Hey, man, I don't want to get you in trouble.
Thank you.
FBI be listening. FBI be listening to this podcast. That's a fact.
I know. They love us.
You know how I know the FBI is listening? Because when I go to add a tag to Twitch, the first tag that comes up? Jewish. Not kidding. Not kidding. So I know the FBI is looking.
Oh, listening. Speaking of which, if it's something that you care about, your Nintendo Switch now gives your data to Google, which you can turn off in the settings.
Thing. I was like, what?
If you want to. Just, little PSA.
Probably. Also, you can do that with your iPhone too.
So you can go into your settings and turn off the ability for Nintendo to give your data on the Switch to Nintendo or to Google. But like I mean, my personal feeling is I have a smartphone. So turning off the ability to sell my or give my data to Google on my Switch isn't going to do anything.
No, because you have Google on your phone.
Yeah. Heavy Google on my phone.
Heavy Google on my phone. All right, so we don't have like a wind it down, more lighthearted tweet. We do have a question. Why don't you read Mega Man's question, and I'll try to find a lighthearted tweet.
Most underrated drink of each: soda, coffee, cocktail, and tea to please the tea drinkers. Wow, sounds like Mega's got some feelings about tea that are not very favorable.
That are correct? Is that what you said?
I don't know that I mean, I don't care that much.
About tea?
About tea? No, not really. Why is this? Oh, interesting. Okay. I didn't think about this question very much. Most underrated soda? I really liked me some Bubble Up as a kid.
What the hell is Bubble Up?
It's like 7-Up or Sprite, but a different brand.
Okay. Okay. I think Dr. Pepper is underrated because I don't hear people talk about it as the best soda enough. That's like, in my opinion, the most. Well, that's crazy.
It's freaking gross.
That's crazy. That's literally crazy. So for mainline sodas, that's what I would say. But like if we're talking just like soda, I think I've said this before, but craft root beer is, I think, wildly underrated by people.
I don't feel like it is though.
It's so good.
I mean, yeah, I agree with you. But I think that it's not underrated.
But it literally is. I never see people drinking on craft root beer.
Okay, I'll buy some craft root beer just for the next episode. Coffee. Most underrated coffee drink. My favorite coffee beverage is a Portuguese coffee beverage called Mazagran, and that's coffee lemonade essentially.
Ooh.
It's lemon juice, strong coffee, so espresso or just like really concentrated coffee, and sugar, iced, and it is delicious. It's like a more bitter black iced tea.
That sounds kind of good. I would actually try that.
It's fantastic.
I don't know that I feel that there's like an underrated coffee drink. I feel like I hear people shit on Americanos all the time, which is wild because they're putting fucking milk in their coffee, and that is insane to me. It's like, how are you shitting on water when you're fucking adding milk? But like, I don't know if it's underrated. I don't think I would say it's underrated. You know what's underrated? Decaf. Decaf is underrated. I'm gonna say it.
Decaf is underrated.
Yeah, it is. Like, if you want coffee but you don't want to have to be awake for fucking hours, decaf has a place.
That is our old man take of the day.
Mm-hmm. That's genuinely how I feel.
Decaf is great. Sometimes you just want to drink some coffee because coffee is delicious, but you don't need to stay up forever. What was next on the docket here? Cocktail. Ooh. I love a Cosmo made with like real fruit juice.
I don't think I've ever had a Cosmo. What's in it?
Never had a Cosmopolitan? So I haven't made one for freaking ever. A Cosmo is vodka, lime, cranberry, and triple sec.
That sounds tasty.
Citrus base. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're using
So,
like
vodka's
real
not gonna add
juice
much, yeah.
and you're using a high quality orange liqueur and a good cranberry juice, like it's a great little cocktail. But they're pink, so they're girly.
Oh.
And that makes them bad.
Well, it's vodka, not whiskey, and that's what makes it girly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's duh.
Sorry,
I think
I apologize.
I think freaking Manhattans are really underrated. I think they get a girly connotation as well for some reason.
Really, a Manhattan?
Mm-hmm. Little sweet vermouth, little bourbon, little maraschino
Yeah,
cherry juice.
Yeah, I mean,
Delicious.
gross.
Oh, see, you're wrong. It's delicious.
I mean, I hate maraschino cherries.
You don't have to do the cherry juice.
Okay, well, then I'm just drinking vermouth and no, nothing. It's not.
Sounds
it's not for me.
delicious.
It's not for me.
You're crazy.
Tea? I don't know.
I don't drink tea. I don't fuck with tea.
Wow.
You know what? Actually, let's do this. Let's fucking throw a curveball. Hot toddy.
That's your tea beverage.
That's my tea beverage. Is tea with alcohol, baby. Let's go.
Is alcohol?
Yeah.
I don't.
But if
feel
you use
like
peppermint tea, then that's a tea beverage.
I mean, like a real chai, not a chai latte.
Chai? Yeah.
Yeah, like real.
Never had a chai latte.
Real like made like they would make it in India chai, where you boil the shit out of some tea with spices and milk.
Like real tea, like real tea.
No, like cheap tea. Like for
real
for
tea,
chai, it's like it's like really cheap black tea.
Yeah.
Really,
but like that's like real. That's like
yeah.
That's like what it
and
actually
then
is.
spices and milk and sugar and raspberry tea. That's AJ's.
And then throw some whiskey in there, and it's fucking unbelievable.
I don't. No, thank you.
Okay, but here's what you do: the hot toddy recipe for you. Okay, so you do peppermint tea. Okay, cinnamon stick, whole stick goes in early. Okay, you want to get that marinating in there. Okay, shot of lemon juice. All right, that's important. 2 shots of bourbon. Okay, that's also important. Let that shit marinate for a good 5 minutes. Fucking whoo! Now you got yourself a stew. A toddy, but same.
I just can't. Hot bourbon every time. No, not a thing. Not a thing that I like consuming.
That's crazy. You could be wrong about things too. That's fine. Don't forget to put your fancy hat on first. Fuck, that's step 1. Did I not say that? You got to put the fancy hat on first. Thrill's right. Thank you.
And then the last step is to put all of that in the sink.
That's
and
crazy.
Drink a better beverage.
That's crazy. Hot toddies are delicious. Especially you got a sore throat. Ooh, baby. Hot toddy is the move.
Nothing like some liquor for your sore throat. That's totally what you want.
Literally, though. It helps soothe it.
Like an old-timey doctor.
It literally is medicinal.
Like
you can be prescribed bourbon.
Don't you wish you could still be like an old-timey doctor? Just roll up to someone's house and be like, hey, have some cocaine. That'll make your cold go away.
Oh. This got interesting. All right, in today's episode of Nepotism, AJ gets Tweet of the Week.
Oh my god.
Anyway, give me a Pokemon Scarlet Violet OLED, please. For fucking Christ's sake, give me a Scarlet Violet OLED, please.
I'm good.
Fuck you.
Because I don't want to buy a new one.
Damn, I didn't like this? That's crazy.
Wow.
Retweet that. This happens occasionally. I probably liked it on the Beanscast account and didn't realize that I wasn't on my account.
I don't know. Click on it. See the likes. Did you like it on the Beanscast account? Let's see. Let's see what's up.
Get fucked. So Thrill House said, it'll be a lame design. I am worried they're gonna give us something and it's gonna be so bad. I am worried.
It's just gonna be It's just gonna be a scarlet colored Joy-Con and a violet colored Joy-Con.
It's gonna be so bad. It's gonna have
And
like
there'll be
wheels
a-
coming out the side.
There'll be a little decal on the dock.
Ugh.
Done.
Ugh. Don't look forward to it. I'm not gonna lie. Don't look forward to that.
Yeah. I think that's
I
it.
think that's it.
I think that's it this week. So thanks everyone for tuning in. To stay up to date on all things Beanscast, you can follow us on Twitter at BeanscastPod and join the Discord at tinyurl.com/Beanscast. Archive of the live show goes up most Mondays on YouTube, tinyurl.com/BeanscastPod. We'll see you next week.
Have a good week,
Goodbye.
everybody. Bye.
Bye.